game where the hooks matter most, he was able to hit them. So game 5 is Towers of Doom. What a way to end first half of our final week here. 2 Towers of Doom in one night. It's like it's Christmas and my birthday. And also I found like $5 on the couch. All in one.
That's your birthday for sure.
You ever find that $5 bill on the couch, man, on your birthday, which is also Christmas? Someone out there has had that.
Maybe it's a $20 bill if they can find it. Well, we're going to Towers of Doom as the Haka seems to be working very well for Miracle. And I think they can just keep the same and have the global against RRR. And they can just out-soak the EXP, have some split soaking, join in for the team fight, which is exactly what they're doing. Morales.
I think that it should be considered. Absolutely. I also think that Lucio could be first pick material here. He's just so good at delaying altars, and he's so difficult to kill, while also being one of the reasons why rotating to the third altar for the team fight is so easily done so oftentimes. Sometimes you'll see Lucio in the solo laner antagonize the other team's solo laner while they try to get their side of the altar while not taking their own on the right side, for example. Say RR has Lucio, they're harassing Judy, and then they rotate down after harassing him with the faster speed boost, get the bottom one, then get both the top ones. It's very annoying, to put it simply. I mean, everyone's experienced that, everyone's seen that. And do you ban Lucio here? I don't think so. Well, I think you very well may take him if you're RRR. So many opportunities. So Morales is available, and they have prioritized the gray main in these situations, but they will take the Morales.
Is this their first time picking it, actually? I think it is for RRR tonight.
Yes. They have not played it yet. They have banned it twice.
So there's Genji. Haven't seen Genji for a while, so he does appear. Sadly, no Ana yet, but still a lot of tools to empower him. And as I speak, so Avatar is picked from MVP Miracle.
Genji is on this map, I feel like, becoming what Li Ming was on this map. So mobile, so good at poking. Just specifically for winning those big wipe team fights. As I feel like Genji's becoming like almost Towers of Doom exclusive, if that makes sense. In Korea, of course, only. Other regions a little bit different. But we're barely ever seeing Genji anymore. He's completely fallen out, and seeing on this map a lot.
So for RR, do you take Morales and Rehgar together because Rehgar may be taken away, or do you use Rehgar as your ban card since there's a Genji on the other side?
I think you can use the Rehgar. It's tough. If you want the Rehgar, I think you do pick it up now. The Miracle will ban. I don't think Miracle wants the Rehgar. We knew they were going to pick the gray main. This now lets you react a little bit. So Rehgar seems like the obvious ban, but then you could ban another support because you already have one and start to limit the choices of MVP Miracle here. Uther is the support that Miracle wants the most, obviously, because it will empower the Dragon Blades. Now you ban Uther. No, you can't do that because they'll take the Rehgar away. It's so weird because we never really had a... Well, they're going to do it anyways. They agree with me, but it's so weird because now Miracle gets Rehgar, but it's not as good for Miracle as it is for RRR, but they take it away, so I guess that adds up. What a weird meta we live in right now.
It's called double support meta, Wolf.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I like to call it the hyper carry meta, but you know, other people get mad about healers and stuff. I'm like, I kind of like the meta. I just don't always fully understand it because it's changing so rapidly all the time. And I mean, I'd say I understand the meta, but I can't understand the meta of a best of 5 when we were on game 5 and know exactly what the thought process is going to be. You don't want RR to have Rehgar. There's not a lot of supports left. Genji's health pool is so low that you don't gain a lot from Ancestral, but I think you have to take it here.
You do need a secondary source of damage, though. Genji alone can sometimes deal with all the damage, but not all the time, as if you're looking for kills, you need to have the enemies down on health. You can't basically just have Genji take down the entire HP of all the opponents by himself. That's a hard job to do, even with the Avatar hat.
I think this could be on Illidan comp.
From Miracle?
Yeah. Who's the solo laner? We've talked about how Abathur can sometimes serve as a pseudo, almost surrogate solo laner, but you don't really gain any strength there, especially against Dahaka. You will be destroyed. They need something that can lane against Dahaka. Sonya and Illidan come to mind. And sure, it doesn't give them much ranged options, and there's not a lot of poke, as you say, that's required to get Genji into kill range. That's a concern, but they both pair well with Tyrael. They both are really good at delaying. Tribute's good at split pushing. Illidan's a global, so you have two globals.
Previously, they did some Lee-Mings to get some double resets, and without Tastar in the draft, I think that's also an option for Miracle. Ooh, they're gonna pick up double globals here. Brightwing. They want to have a Poly and Emerald Wind as the answer to the counter to the dive here.
Well, the ETC pick makes Lee-Ming a little bit more likely, but all eyes on Sniper. If it's Lee-Ming, it's going to be Snipers playing it. We'll have Dami on the Genji very likely. It's odd though. I think you have to pick a melee here. It has to be a strong solo laner. I don't think you can run the Lee-Ming, or you risk the comping totally lopsided. Sure, Crazy Moving can play Tyrael and can all work out technically speaking. Like Judy could play the Abathur, I suppose, but it all gets a little bit weird when you put these positions into a position to put the Lee-Ming here. I think Illidan Sonya is what they're debating right now, because you need a strong solo laner against the Abathur, against the Dahaka. Illidan has a global. You're facing double global. I think you need that. I think that's the best choice.
Oh, we're gonna see it in just 1 second.
Muradin?
Avatar can just have solo lane make the 4 rest of them just rotate around.
This is an old strategy. This exact comp, except with a Zeratul instead of a Genji, is like a comp we saw MVP Black do in 2015. I remember a series where they played against Team Hero, and ran a comp very similar to this with the Genji instead, or the Zeratul instead of the Genji, where you clone Muradin, you slow everybody, and you try to use your hyper mobility kind of like melee carry. So they were cloning Sign. Rich was killing everybody with the Zeratul. It's a weird comp. Let's see if it works out, guys. This is match point. Game number 5 here for Miracle versus RRR. In blue, Miracle, Judy on Tyrael, Dami on Genji, Jaehyun on Rhaegar, Crazy Moving on Abathur actually, and Sniper on Muradin.
And in red, RR, Odok on Greymane, MSG on Dehaka, EZZ on Brightwing, Kong on ETC, and Phantom on Lieutenant Morales.
So
okay, Brightwing going for the Q, some extra wave clear.
Extra wave clear, extra damage.
Wonder how they will do the laning though. They do have double global, maybe even triple global.
It could be a 1-3-1 or a 1-1-3. We've seen that in other regions quite a bit. Not really in Korea. Korea, it's like 1-1-3, but not really. It's like 1-4-4. With the tanky ones kind of splitting off to do mid clear, usually in terms of landing on this map in Dragonshire. So it is going to be 1-1-3 for RR for the time being. So it's kind of like mini laning phase.
And Tyrael solo lane top. Haven't seen that for a while for sure.
you keep using that meme wrong because we actually haven't seen it for a while. Like.
Yes. I'm saying the right thing.
It's like it's actually been like several days. Like it's actually been a few weeks. Like. All right, so obviously MSG struggles against this a little bit with the wave coming through with the shields, but This will be a pretty even matchup
Do
overall.
you think we'll see a Haymaker coming out to get Morales out of positioning?
That's a good question. I can't say yes because I think the Avatar gives too much against this comp. But you do have 2 Muradins. Like, I think Muradin will be cloned oftentimes. Rhaegar will also be cloned oftentimes. Genji will probably be cloned the least. Like, I think they'll clone Tyrael before they clone Genji. But I want to say no, but like I just let's just wait and see. Let's see how this comp develops because it's not one that we see very often in Korea. We haven't really seen anything like this, like I said, since 2015. We've seen like comps like this with Chen as with the Muradin, but like Muradin himself is like, that's old, man. That's like before Chen was like in the game or something. Okay, so this is the way you use globals to bully. So RR gets both shots here, looking to converge on the final. And it's just so rough for Miracle to deal with the globals here.
They bought enough time for them to actually push the bottom lane. They're going in already.
So they trade, they don't contest the top left altar. They get a better trade and they gain experience from this. Pretty interesting choice. I like it though. There's like no risk involved in what RR just did. They took the safest option. They want this series win so bad because it could put them to 7th. It's very likely already that they already have it, considering that Raven will have to beat Black now for this to not be the case.
Hitting camp as they have double globals. Let's see, the Haka will be free to push basically alone as the Avatar is soaking EXP, but that tower will be going down soon. And because of Morales or even against 4v3, they do have to sustain, and Judy just walks off. There's a poly. Damage comes in for Sniper. They're looking for the kill. Do they have enough?
Failed to get it. It was Swoi who, before BlizzCon 2016, famously said, if you're playing a Brightwing comp and in the first 10 minutes you haven't gotten at least 2 ganks, you probably lost the game. And he's trying to get that first gank here. He's so close to getting it, but fails to do so. Either way, still an experienced lead here for RR, still using the double globals. Abathur in the top lane is, again, not really a solo laner. Judy has to stay mid because of the 1-1 setup with 2 solo laners. And the bot lane is lost in terms of wave clear because they don't have good wave clear at all. This is a gank attempt. Actually, great Stormbolt there. That's going to be a kill. Very well played. First blood goes to Miracle.
They needed to punish the globals onto the other side, and they've done one, but I feel like they need a few more. As the Haka is just free pushing the top one. In time, it will be going into the fort, and Avatar has to back away as she's joining the team fight here.
Okay, channel coming through. Good positioning here by Kong, blocking the shurikens. Aldruins will delay. Right now, Miracle is losing all sorts of momentum. Abathur is going to get a little bit of extra soak here, but I really feel like they absolutely need this, at least to win in the fight. I'm going to dive through here now. Phantom is the target here. Very good positioning, but MVP is going deep to try to get him with the Abathur hat. Muradin doing a lot of damage. Brightwing's already down. Looks like Sniper is not going to get his target here. It's going to be a trade 1-for-1.
Even with Phantom zoned out of the fight, they had enough healing coming up from Brightwing, of course, died in the middle.
Okay, a grenade here, going to knock Sniper back. This is a really risky position there for Sniper, who dove so deep to kill Morales.
If that power slide connected, I think they could have got another kill, but meanwhile, they're happy because they got the channel.
They got the channel. They didn't miss too much experience on this. They gained a little bit, obviously, from those picks. The cocktail nearly interrupts that hearth. Focus Morales can be a bit of a two-sided sword, double-edged sword, whatever the saying is. It's like good and bad. If you get the Morales, it's good. If you fail like that and end up getting caught as a result, it's not good. He didn't die, but wasn't able to help delay the tribute anymore, or altar, excuse me. Sniper is being very aggressive with this Muradin. We'll have the hat again.
Polyed once more and thrown by the grenade, tossed over the wall. He has to come in for Sniper.
He took Ironforge momentum. He will go into give him the axe later on for extra damage. And so he's going to be very powerful, very tanky. There's a lot of CC that comes with that. Does a lot of damage. Going to get the clone. So many slows are going to come down. It's a strong comp, like no doubt. I just don't know if it works against double support Greymane and the kiting power that he has now. He has quick silver bullets, so he's got more range. And we're going to really start to find out post 10. And when this laning phase starts to end, that's when we're really going to know, like, does this work? Will the clones be enough? With double Ancestral, or sorry, with Ancestral, possibly double Rhaegars in some weird situations. Does it work? That's the question. It's going to decide this series pretty much.
We'll see Emerald Wind locked in. Of course, isolation with Stim Drone for RRR. With double global, it is Mosh Pit. Greymane can do free damage if he can get multiple enemies into that party.
Certainly can. Okay, MSG coming in.
Here.
Watch Kong's positioning. Looking for the power slide here. Insta cleanse. Holds on to the face melt. Doesn't need it right here. Oduk is just trying to poke. All heroics here, with the exception of Emerald Wind, which isn't that weird anymore, are totally standard. Here comes the clone. First clone actually going to be on Genji. So surprising to see this. We almost never see Genji clones here. Raise Moving is going to start to do that extra poke damage. He's got that clone scaling advantage. Mosh Pit here catches him in the corner. It's going to be a dead Murrid, and the clone expires as well.
Nice poly and Sanctification way too late. Dropped by Judy here, as he will also find himself close to being dead. He does manage to escape there, but that Mosh Pit right after this Emerald Wind just pushed them into the corner. They had no escapes there.
Wow, this is so rare to see Genji clones, and that Emerald Wind really countered that dive there so well. It was so well executed because of the angle, which pushed them into the wall. I mean, this is some really interesting stuff. Now, the question is, would it have been a better choice to use the Muradin clone there instead? And maybe, you know, like, that's what we expected. We expected all the CCs to come through. They don't have given the Axe yet, which is going to make the Muradin clone so much stronger, because obviously Sniper, the real Muradin, is going to get so much extra from these slows. Zara loses their camp again here. But they're getting consistent wins in team fights. They're getting consistent wins on altar phases. Losing a cannon tower here or there eventually will add up, but for the time being, RR is still very happy with this. I love how they're just content to not take risks. Oh, you want a 4v3 fight us at the camp? No, we're just going to soak. That's fine. You can have it. You can have a cannon tower, but the soak that we're getting is so much more valuable. We're still ahead in experience. We're still ahead in core shots. And this is one of RR's best series, I think, career. And if they win this, it will be their best result of all time. Their only win was against Raven.
For sure, they're looking another Emerald Wind also used. I think she was going down anyhow, regardless.
Yeah, kind of an expensive use there. Doesn't have any follow-up mobility. Can't blink heal after you use that one. You picked the wrong heroic. But this is a good chance for Miracle to get back in the game. We're about to hit 13. They could maybe get another pick here.
Notice how Dehaka is not being as aggressive as she should. I think he's being way too careful, even after spotting all the heroes down here.
Okay, here's the teleport in. Judy is going to get denied. Okay, MSG with a good angle. Phantom totally fine. Crazy moving again on this Genji clone. Not getting anything done. Can't use Dragon Blade as a clone. Can't do burst damage. Can't kill Morales if he can't do burst damage, as it turns out.
Giving them more time. Emerald Wind will be coming back in 5 seconds. There's the Mosh Pit onto Sniper once again, focusing all the damage. Ancestral does land, and this is a big turnaround now with the Sank.
But the Dragon Blade doesn't have the Ancestral. The Sank comes through, though. Will that be enough? It looks like the answer is yes. Sanctification there, so well placed, allowing the Dragon Blade to get that extra last hit through. As the Ancestral was baited early. And finally, the real Genji is the real MVP.
See a Stim Drone Dehaka in that team fight?
I guess maybe. I was more focused on the clone there, but
I think that could have been the biggest problem.
I think you might be right. I didn't see the stim drone really at all because I was looking at the DPS, so I guess maybe that's what happened now that I see that the cooldown is in fact live.
Well, I think they have all the tools to actually counter. First team fight at the bottom, I think the isolation landed on Tyrael, which blocked the sanctification to be used at the perfect timing. If that happens once more, even once more, in one of the team fight, I think RRR can have a pretty good time with landing on those Emerald Wind along with the Mosh Pit.
Yeah, I still think the Genji cones have been pretty unimpactful, like non-value. Like the crazy moving clone there just like came and tried to kill Phantom, like almost got rid of his shield and then died. Crowd Surf gonna allow Kong back here. You see a cleanse pop through. Kong very much trying to find an angle to threaten these members when they get one step over the boundary. So experience lead for Miracle with those picks, but because of the double global RRs keeping it competitive.
MSG on that, the Haka has been very, very defensive. With that much time on the solo lane, even with Avatar on the side, I think you could have actually went in all the way and destroyed the towers. He was being extra safe. Even when you spot all the heroes onto the other side, at the bottom side, he was being super safe, not really going in, pressuring onto the Avatar. If he had done that, I think they can have so much. She can have so much better laning and joining the team fight easier, forcing Avatar to actually rotate down or to the mid lane.
Yeah, certainly would make a big impact. So this is a triple. It's the last triple. This is the best way for RR to use their globals to gain a large advantage. Brightwing going to the top right. They're just trying to buy time over here.
So they want to engage right before the clone is
okay,
down.
I like this. They're just going to take the double top, force the fight here. He comes over so quickly. Will Dami get the delay? He will. That's huge because that was the entire game plan of how RR decided to do this. Looks like they're going to trade down on this one. Coming up now, Avatar does move over. Dragon Blade totally denied here by that Emerald Wind. Maybe this could be a win for them after all.
Nice counter. MSG still has that isolation available. He did survive for that moment. Nice use of Emerald Wind there by EZZ.
Okay, MSG, the Guardian here for Jaehyun. As here comes Dami. Ice block there.
Canceled right after.
Yeah.
As you can see the sound. And Brightwing will be healed from Morales. MSG is alone in the team fight. Getting healed now. Sniper doing what he can, tanking the front line damage. Stim drone onto Greymane this time.
Yeah, Sniper eating a lot of boss damage there, actually. Do they have a cocktail? I don't think so. Looks like this is going to be the channel. So finally, Miracle is going to tie us up on core health, taking the last 4 shots here. We had this incredible moment where Dahaka, you could tell if you were watching the minimap as I was, Dahaka was like, all right, do I go bot to fight or do I go for the tribute, or sorry, the altar? He chose the altar, and I think maybe he chose incorrectly. Either way, we're still even in this game. The global is getting less and less value, it feels like, which is the opposite of what you would expect.
They're coming in with the clone, but then Emerald Wind just came back off the cooldown. And it seems like that's a pretty good answer all the time against the clone when Genji's diving in just like this. He's moving, just doing what he can with the clone. We see no impact coming out from clone all the time.
Yeah, it's funny.
Some damage, but no kills happening, you know.
I guess it forced out 2 Emerald Winds, but that's a similar cooldown. I suppose a little bit worse than the Avatar clone, but okay, they're going to actually try to contest this pumpkin cap here. Kong goes in for the power slide. They've got Sniper isolated here. Phantom actually not doing any healing. The Ancestral, or sorry, the Sanctification is good here. They lose Rhaegar though, and they just can't do enough damage with this composition.
Is now available. Oda can do so much more damage. Seems like it's not even needed.
The Genji coming in with a Dragon Blade, even with a good Sank, doesn't matter. It just doesn't feel like they have enough damage. The double support is just out healing them. And this is one reason why this is old meta from Miracle. This is why 2 supports are the meta now. As we are going to see boss taken here. Judy sees it. But it's one of those situations of look but don't touch, as I don't think he'll be able to come in and actually delay this. Doesn't have Sank, has Holy Ground. Sniper's coming up. They're going to try for it. This is risky.
They do have Holy Ground, and he is almost taking it. They steal it.
I cannot believe it. Mosh Pit was baited as well. Can they win the ensuing fight? I don't think so. If everybody survives, I think it's still a win. Crazy moving, looking for the pick on the Phantom. Polymorph will get the clone dead, though. What a steal. That was some Bilo prices right there, and now it's a situation where, I mean, Miracle stays ahead in core health. This buys them time for the respawns. Altars are channeling. They're going to channel even.
Wow, those holy grounds. Now Miracle comes back into the game. I think they also got another shot into the core for some reason.
Miracle got 3 shots, yeah, from their left side one. They're trying to invade this one.
Going in.
Very risky positioning here for Sniper. MSG is caught here. Really good grenade. They need more healing, though. I'm not talking about Genji. I'm talking about MSG here. He goes down. Sank is popped. Dragon Blade's up in 3.
And ETC comes way too late for this team fight. Dozev, Greymane's still alive, though, so he can burst out some of the damage. But this altar, I think it will be just going to RRR as they have the sustain.
They do have the sustain, but they don't have as much CC as they once had. Dragon Blade's coming in. Morales is the target. Phantom is dead. And Odak is going to find himself dead. It looks like what? The polymorph was so well placed, but they're going to lose these 3 shots regardless.
Can actually get the kill onto Greymane. He does at the end.
This is still channelable. This is crazy what we were watching.
Crazy.
Clone is up soon. Was that a Mosh?
No, the Mosh was not available for 13.
Sorry, I was looking at the UI for a second.
He doesn't even have enough mana for Mosh Pit.
Yeah. I was just trying to see if Clone was available, which it is, which is what they're going to try to use potentially here.
There's a power of Global just coming in for the team fight all the time. Poly connects. Even Isolation used onto Jaehyun there.
Oh man,
Another
Miracle
drag. That will be kill for sure.
Miracle does not want to lose these, because if they lose this fight and it's extended, their death timers are extended, they might lose another bell tower here. They haven't put a single dent into this bell tower to the south. The bottom bell tower is nearly at full health.
Oh my goodness.
And MSG is going to split push for the top bell tower now.
This game 5, the last game of the series, is going insane. Both teams so close, 15 to 13 right now, as RRR is about to hit 20.
I just noticed as well, Murden did not give him the axe, took sustain instead. And as much as this is pretty much a mirrored comp, minus the Zeratul Genji swap I was talking about from 2015 that we used to see a lot from MVP Black with Sign on the Muradin, it's not the same. And it's definitely not, their objective was not to actually have this comp. Their objective was to use Genji clones and win team fights through Dragon Blades and Sanctifications, not from the Muradin play, not from the give them the axe, not from the extra slows that the Muradin provide, the longer team fight. Sustain, different from healing sustain, but sustain from the clone. They took back the bell tower, but for how long is the question, as this is an insane push. Pretty much every single sapper you could ask for crashed into that, and it will be taken away.
That time, Power Slide will connect. Judy dies.
Go for the throat. Onto a Tyrael. You don't see that every day. He gets the pick. Oduk's having some of his best Greymane play tonight ever.
Oh my goodness. Now, and they don't even have globals. They don't have too much poke either. If they're missing Genji, that means they have no damage during the team fight.
Okay, 5 shots will soon become 4 if he doesn't clear this like right now. Okay, he does save it. Single altar. Boss should be up soon. So that's 9 shots of the 15 if they can secure both. Tyrael up in 25 will have Sank. I think they might have to let this altar go, MVP Miracle. Save their teammates for the boss contest instead. Use the Sank there.
Let's see how they decide on this one. Because they do not have global. Against 2 globals, you have to give 1 up at least.
Okay, they're going to look to pick the global instead to look for that boss fight. I actually really appreciate this decision. They're going to get the kill here onto MSG. Altar is going to be channeled, so they're going to lose 5, a third of their health. But this means they don't lose the ensuing boss, and they could take a bell tower from it. They could actually possibly grab double with another crazy moving clone, or, you know, Genji run by. Could definitely get that.
I think Dehaka has a Brush Tucker available, so right after at 40 seconds, he will be joining in very soon. So ETC is already in the mid lane, making sure their own bell tower is not taken again.
So here's the boss I was talking about. They wanted to get the bell tower to parlay this into the boss with that pick. Really smart move by Miracle. The altar is being, or sorry, the bell tower is being retaken. It looks like RRR is doing something similar. They're willing to just give this up. Maybe they'll take another fight later. But this is an opportunity now for Miracle. Because this is going to be annoying. That someone will go deal with that. You have to expect, right?
Ooh, but are they gonna go in time? Okay, Dami.
I feel like Dragon Blades for this. I'm like, well, yeah, he's gonna get in time. This is an opportunity for Miracle to take back some map control. They could get the mid bell tower and finally be even again once this eventually gets cleared up bot. RRR does not want that to happen, though. They're going to invade. They're going to look to grab this Sapper camp. Brightwing can teleport in at any time.
They're trying to pressure in, and even if Miracle takes the extra, they're coming around. They want to go diving in.
They have bell tower control still. Power slide is there. Mosh Pit connects. Will he be able to kill Muradin this time? Ancestral yet again goes off. Torbus to get him in a better position to continue that Mosh. Sniper very low. Dragon Blade pushed away by this upgraded Emerald Wind. And now the fight win, you have to argue, goes to RRR here. Sank is available, but they don't have that Dragon Blade anymore. It's worn off. And now they protect this bell tower. 2 bell towers very low that Miracle will eventually take this one.
But why focus Muradin all the time? I don't think it's the right choice. They used all the heroics when there's Sanctification on the other side, and the clone will be coming out soon.
Bell tower still firing for RRR, which adds this extra element. I mean, it's at like, what, 100 health or less here. Will finally get taken out. And this is the focal point. All heroics in the game pretty much gone. Clone available, Stim Drone available, and that's it. RR is going to start the channel. This is not even a third of what Miracle has. They're not going to risk it.
It seems like mid lane actually pushed in, and Miracle got the bell tower, so they will only get 3 shots here.
Miracle's trying to play the quote-unquote late game at this stage. I mean, we're 23 minutes in, but they're playing the long game. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. So remember, 26:30 basically is where we are for boss time. Write that down in your memo file, right on the back of your hand, on your wrist or something, because we're going to have to check in on that later if this game goes longer. 3 minutes is a long time in late game Heroes of the Storm. Bell tower will be retaken, but it's going to be a trade. Looks like Miracle may just for the rest of this game maintain a bell tower advantage. Doesn't necessarily mean that RRR will lose the game because of this, but it will take longer for them to end the game, and it will open up other win conditions for Miracle. Because now it takes 3 bell towers to kill Miracle and 2 to kill RRR.
And now we have Brightwing on doing the split, pushing onto the side, because Dehaka oftentimes was pressured and almost caught to death several times. Now ECC will have Emerald Wind for the escape as an escape tool. So there's a change there in the split pushing from RRR, but now Miracle has so much power, so much tools on their hands. They're out rotating the double globals at the moment.
Once you control an altar, it's more powerful than a global. It's more powerful than 2 globals because it forces a big response. I mean, we are dead even in levels pretty much, 23, so scaling is even. The next fight is going to be decided by those Dragon Blade attempts, the slows coming out from Muradin. Where does the go for the throat hit? Is the Stim Drone used correctly? I mean, everything is going to come down to this last fight. It's double altars, do or die. RR has to win this or they'll lose the game. They cannot lose this fight. They cannot allow the double channel. They might even try to use Abathur to get a channel right now. They're out of position. They're on this bell tower. They need to start advancing forward. Altars up in 12 seconds.
I think RRR is panicking a little bit in their rotations right now. Even with the double global, they're not using their tools perfectly. They have to actually push and try to use the global right now because they're falling behind in this macro. Of course, if they lose both of them, they will lose the game. Maybe that's why they're focusing.
If they lose one and they lose the boss, they lose the game too. They're going to get one here first. They're taking the safe approach. They can try to invade to get double now. It's not a win condition. Boss is up in 1 minute. If they get wiped here, they lose to the boss and this altar, but they want to channel it. They want to interrupt this channel. Very greedy here is Kong, going to clear these Abathur mines. They're getting the double channel, and Miracle is playing this so safe. Judy comes in, angle here for Sniper. Phantom is the target. Emerald Wind yet again, pretty decent, but it's not enough to save morales this time. Oduk is trying to do the damage. The Torbus is not good enough. Dami gets the Ancestral. He's popping off with this Dragon Blade. This may be the end of the game. That's the wipe. And with the altar and boss available, it is going to be game over.
Focus Morales is the answer for MVP Miracle. Also, that Stonebolt canceling the Torbus ETC power sliding in with the mosh pit. There was crazy from Sniper. And that will be close to a game, but not actually. Well, we're not done here, guys.
Well, they're going to take this.
And it's 3 sappers, and that will be game, or the boss will be game 2.
Also, it's going to just fire shots So, I mean, this is definitely game over. There's no way they could retake it in time. They won the game in style. They're going to have the boss as well. The Corv's going to go down to negative health probably. So, there you go. That is GG. What a series. And as emotional as it must feel for RRR to lose this, they played one of the best series of their careers. It was not the win they were looking for to have their best win. This would have been their biggest achievement. They put it on their resume. I beat MVP Miracle because this is the toughest team they almost beat. And as far as they came, they were not good enough tonight. But I think they could still be very proud of what they accomplished. The compositions they built, the Zagara attempt we saw from Kong Man on screen right there, the former Mighty coach. And it feels like an older era tonight with the comps we saw, but very much a fun night. For Miracle, I feel like despite the win, the feeling is that of despair. We almost lost to RRR. We're in 6th place. Is this where we stand going into playoffs? Do we really have a chance to make BlizzCon? It must feel bittersweet to take that final game.
I do agree. And Miracle, of course, as many expected to have a 3-0 series, actually. We had a full series until the very last moment. Miracle almost lost that game. If they had Genji cut off, if that Ancestral did not land on Genji, maybe Dami could not really get those kills at the end. Of course, they did win the game, but that was it was as close as it gets on Towers of Doom.
Yeah, I mean, it really, I name a closer game than that. I mean, there's not very many of them. We've seen crazier comebacks, perhaps, but that was pretty neck and neck the entire time. When Miracle was willing to give the channel, I was about to lose my mind. I was like, oh my god, they're going to go down to 1 core health. Then they contested it, and I had the perfect angle, and the Tyrael play was good enough to win them the game. The Mosh as well was not ideal. The Emerald Wind pushed the Dragon Blade kind of, but it was one of the worst Emerald Winds too, just because actually finally, like on like the 6th try, Dami was able to outplay it. Well, what a series. And I mean, because this is Miracle's last play day before playoffs, I thought earlier we'd probably be hearing from a team leader from Tempest, but I guess we might hear from someone unusual today since that's what we saw in the Tempest one. Maybe Jaehyun. I mean, it's been a long time since we heard this guy. I'd like to hear what he has to say. Definitely had some clutch plays today.
Maybe even Judy. I want to have some Judy talking about his play on Tyrael sometimes and what he did. That steal with the holy ground in the middle of the game, that was a nice one for sure.
I didn't even believe. I was like, look, he has all the tools, but will this work? Like, can he make this happen?
He did.
He did.
With the perfect holy ground, that was enough to steal that boss from all, I believe not 5, but 4 enemies in this boss zone there.
That was really exciting, you know. It's moments like that that you know, you remember why Tyrael is played on boss maps so highly, prioritized so highly on maps of the boss is such a large factor. Cursed Hollow, this map as well, Sky Temple. So our player, we'll have 4 interviews heading up the elevator right now, and it's a little bit spooky in that elevator sometimes, so maybe take a little bit longer. But
yes,
as I'm telling you, you guys take the elevator.
It's a
you tell me
spooky elevator it gets as spooky as it gets.
So Halloween's coming up too, man. I'm not taking that elevator on Halloween, no way. But yeah, we're gonna have our MVP. We'll talk about what the standings mean when we get to the end because there's a lot to talk about for tomorrow's matches to tell you guys the full story. It's actually very late at night here in Korea, so 11:20.
Even with the delay, it was a little bit longer of a day compared to what we expected to as we came into OGN tonight. But I enjoyed this series. That was one of the best series RRR has ever done. And with Phantom, I think the team is actually a little better, to be honest.
I feel like Tekaluk has definitely been slipping a little bit this second part of Phase 2. And Phantom, I think, definitely at least got an opportunity to maybe have some tryouts, have some discussions with the team after tonight's performance. And the rotations were good. Their drafting was good today. So even though that final game and those final core shots went against RRR, it feels like RRR won the series. It feels like RRR were the real victors today. And Miracle nearly dropped it. But we are going to hear from Miracle's MVP. G-Clap will translate for you guys. Let's find out who it is.
다미 선수예요.
Dami from MVP Miracle.
오늘 경기 좀 어떠셨어요?
How was the game tonight?
오늘
Today
저희가 연습을 많이 해서
we did practice a
되게
lot.
그래도
So
풀세트는 안 갈 것 같았는데 한
I didn't
세트
expect the
지더라도
series, but
풀세트까지 가가지고 좀
예.
힘들었어요.
we were caught a
정말
little bit
이게
off
좀
guard, and it was
연습도
very
많이
tough to be
하고
honest.
또 잘 맞추고 막 그러는 과정 속에서도 이게 좀 변수들이 좀 많이 발생을 하잖아요.
네.
오늘 RRR이 선수가 좀 교체가 되면서
And with
또 이
RRR
새로운
having a sub
색깔로,
tonight,
지금 다시
there were lots
등장을
of
했는데 좀 어려운 부분 좀 많았죠. 경기 내.
differences. What were some
마지막
of the
경기
hard
그
parts?
우두머리 못 가져갔으면은
네,
끝났을 수도 있는 거잖아요.
그렇죠.
네.
If you guys didn't take the boss there, the steal,
그쵸?
오늘
you could have lost the game.
오늘 그냥
Yes.
오늘 근데 경기 하는데 제가 너무 못해가지고
But when I was playing
계속 가지고 죽기만
in
하고
today's
그래가지고
games, I think I
때문에
played
좀
very bad.
그렇게 된 것 같아요.
I think
그래도
that's
이게
what
마지막에 그
caused the full
카타에서는
series to
같이
happen.
좀 살아남고 해서 좀 이긴 것
그렇죠.
같은데
네.
그러면은 그래도 이제는 이번 경기는 뭐 어떻게 해서 이겼었고 이제 플레이오프가 좀 기다리고 있잖아요.
And now with this,
그때
you guys took the
미라클의
series,
또
you
기록을
won.
만들어주는
Now the
거
playoff is waiting.
방법이잖아요. 팬분들 앞에서
전
어떤-
시즌에도 플레이오프에서 정말 좋은 모습을 보여줬었으니까.
그러니까
네. 이번
As in
시즌
the last season, you guys showed a pretty good performance in the playoff series.
네.
네, 그런 준비 팀원들과 좀 얘기를 좀 많이 할 것 같은데 좀 어떻게
What are some of the things you guys are talking about for the
그리고
playoffs?
플레이오프 때 정말 좋은 모습 보여드리려고 굉장히 열심히 연습하고 있어서
For the playoffs, we're practicing
기대하셔도
super
좋을 것
hard
같아요.
in order to do our best, of course, for the playoff.
들이 좀 있잖아요.
그렇죠. 네, 지금도 이 거미형의 무덤에서는 또 시무빙 선수가 다시 한번 제이나 보여주는 모습도 있었고,
네.
네, 스나이퍼 선수가
We saw another
메인
Jaina coming out from
탱커로서
Crazy
지금
Moving.
플레이하고 있는데 지금은 본인이 생각하기에는 확실하게 지금 이 포지션이 맞는 것 같아요.
You think
아니면
the
아직도
roles for
부족하고 좀
Miracle
부족할
right
것
now
같다?
is fitting, or
이
do you think
포지션이
there are?
굉장히
Do you think they need? You guys need more changes.
스크림에서도 계속 쏠겠다고 그래가지고 탱커도 태훈이 형이 스나이퍼 선수가 정말 잘하고 있고요.
네.
그냥
Crazy Moving back on
수영이
DPS
원래
is doing a
원딜
lot of work.
잘했었으니까
Even
저만 좀
Sniper
잘하면 될것
back
같아요.
on tank is,
오늘도 너무
I
많이
think, is very
죽어가지고.
solid.
부담감을 좀 많이 계속해 갖고 있는데 그거를
So
풀로
I think we do
털어내면서
have the
이제
pressure, but it's working out with the new roles coming
가야
in.
되는 거 아닙니까?
네.
그러기 위해서 가장 중요한 거는요. 그러니까 뭔가 좀 내 마음을 좀 정할 수 있는 뭔가 나에 있어서 이 기분을 바꿀 만한 선물이 좀 기다리고 있어요.
Of course, to change the mood here,
재밌게 생겼거든요.
머키
예,
있고요.
there are
먹기가 좀
presents right in
있는데.
front.
프로비우스.
예, 그래 선물로 해서
There's a Murloc.
분위기 이 프로비우스 좀
There's a
보여드릴게요.
surprise
좀
gift.
보시니까 저 우리 지금 다미 선수가 좀
To
활짝
change the atmosphere,
이렇게
seems like
좀
Dami is very
보여드릴
tough after that
여기는,
long
예,
series.
프로비우스.
Probius!
프로비우스의 이 배를
이게
가르면
If you
이
cut
머리를
the
가르면
stomach-
여기 온오프가 있어요. 예, 온오프로 하면은 여기서
움직여요?
예 움직이진 않고 소리가 납니다.
소리가
There's a,
예.
if you
그리고
cut the
여기,
stomach
예,
and
소리가
go
나는데,
inside,
예,
there's an
배터리를
on-off
갈아끼면은
switch,
소리가 잘
and
날
it'll
거예요.
make some
여기서
sounds.
좀 있고 여기 있잖아요. 프로비우스 머리를 가르면요 여기 버튼이 있습니다. 그래서 소리가 나갖고
There's a button inside, and it makes some
슬프거나 뭐 좀 뭔가 좀
make some
안 되고 그럴
sounds.
때는 이렇게 프로비우스를 보면서 힐링이 좀 가능해요. 예,
And
항상 한 곳만
after
바라보고.
listening to all the
귀엽죠.
sounds, you can have some
네,
healing
그리고
moments
이
with
먹기,
Probius alone in your bed, you
먹기는요.
know.
고개를 이렇게
고개를 돌립니다 이렇게. 고개를
But this
돌리는데,
this Murloc now,
뭔가 이거는
if you set it
잘
on
될 거야,
in
잘
the
될
sun,
거야,
it
잘될
shakes
거야
his
하는
head
약간 이 표정을
automatically.
보면은
You don't need the battery, you
있어요.
know.
그래서 좀 보고 있으면은
As you can tell, if you just keep
이렇게
staring at it,
미소가 좀 나오는.
you're healed
그 먹기.
by looking at this
저희
thing.
약간 치료하러 온 거 아니죠?
아니에요.
And there's number 3.
왜냐면 다미 선수의 기분을
그렇죠.
I'm trying to bring up the
사실
atmosphere as
다미
Dami is having a tough
자신감
time
있는
right
그런
now
모습을
on
저도
the enemy
기억을 하고
zone.
있는데.
그렇죠.
Here comes
이거는
this one.
정말 이게
now.
어떤 분들은 이게 남았다는 말씀을
Some people just say this one's just the leftover, the remaining one.
그렇죠.
But this is the special one. It's a Murky, it's a Murloc.
프로비우스를 타고 있는
But
먹기
it's
이런 거 있으면은 되게 보면은
it can be a Murloc that's
이제
on.
다미 선수 웃잖아요.
the Probius.
이걸 보고 이 선물들이 좀 있는데.
See, Dami, you're laughing now. You're smiling.
약간 좀 태양열 이용해 갖고 고개를 이렇게
You
계속해서
can use the
돌리는
sunlight
먹고.
energy.
네.
어떤 걸 받으면 좀
Which one do you want to take here? As there are 3 options. I want to take this one.
네.
이게 고개를
As-
자꾸 돌리는데 이게 아니야가 아니라 반대로
It's not saying no to you. It's nodding actually.
선물을 드리겠습니다.
So,
근데
as
이것도
you'll
좀
take this.
이쁘게 생기지 않았나요?
네, 귀엽네요.
How about this
귀여운데.
one?
네.
귀여운데 아니에요.
아니,
It's cute,
저는
예.
플라스틱을
I
좋아하기 때문에.
like
아,
plastic
플라스틱을
stuff, so I'll
네.
take the plastic.
알겠습니다. 그래서 이제 원하는
Okay, that's also a good
선물을
option, you know.
여기서 선정돼가지고 축하드린다는 말씀 드리고 또
And
이제
of course with that
팬분들이
present.
MVP 미라클에 대해서 기대를 좀 많이
Congrats
걸고
again, as
계시거든요.
a lot of
팬분들에게
fans are
소감
expecting a
말씀
lot
주시죠.
more
어,
from you guys in the playoff. Do you want to have last
저희도
shoutouts?
굉장히 블리즈컨을 가고 싶어하는 멤버들만 모였고 또
We're
잘한다고
full with
생각하는
members
사람들만
who wants to go to
모였기
BlizzCon,
때문에
you know.
지금 정말 열심히 연습해서
And we are
기대에
practicing a lot.
보답하도록
We will do a lot more to pay you guys
화이팅!
back.
화이팅!
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 다미
Let's
선수
get some
자신감의
park shouts.
모습
MVP
보여주고
Miracle
예전 뭐 작년에 그
fighting.
전성기 때 그 모습 전 세계 최고
Let's
그
go
모습
back
보여줘야죠.
to
금메할 때,
예.
소냐 할 때 그 모습.
그렇죠.
when you played
이것도
Greymane, when you
가져가세요.
played
두 개
Sonya.
드릴게요. 예,
Let's
이거
go
뭐
back.
정신 마지막이니까
네.
두 개 드릴 테니까
Yeah, this is
이
the last
먹기,
one. You can also
즐거운
take the
먹기, 행복한
Murloc.
먹기 이렇게 보면서 힘내시길 바라겠습니다.
You can have
아시겠죠?
both staring at
네,
each other
자,
this
이렇게.
entire
자, 이렇게
time.
해서 오늘 MVP
Take
미라클
two,
다미 선수와
so you can get
이야기를
more
마치도록
energy.
하겠습니다. 오늘 경기 결과
And
정리해드리겠습니다.
that's it for the interview with Dami.